Toda parte ahora está destruido. Ya están sapeados todo, tienen potrero todo, ahí tienen su casa, ganados todos.
So we're here in La Ceiba, the north coast town of Honduras. We're at the Lodge of Pico Bonito, and we're getting ready for our expedition to the Río Plátano Biosphere Reserve. This place is just amazing here. Honduras is just the unforgotten country that has so many great opportunities for explorers and scientists. But this is a conservation expedition. The Río Plátano Biosphere Reserve is supposedly a protected World Heritage Site, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Very few people go in there. And so what's going on in there really doesn't get out.
I'm trying to decide if they're red-lord parrots or mealy parrots. I'm a little out of practice on my bird vocalizations, but there's a toucan, a keel-billed toucan in the same tree. And all around, you can hear different birds singing. There's a social flycatcher over here, a melodious blackbird over here. The Río Plátano Biosphere Reserve is a home to all of these species, especially the macaws. You can go rafting and hiking and see these macaws that just no longer exist along the coast and in most of the rest of their range. The Río Plátano Biosphere Reserve is in the Mosquitia region or Mosquito Coast of eastern Honduras and in northern Nicaragua. And this forest is home to the most endangered species of wildlife that we have in Central America. They occupy an important biogeographic position where we have species from North America that reach their southern range limit here. We have about 80 species of birds from South America who reach their northern terminus in these forests. We have species whose central origin of evolution is in these forests. So this narrow slice of forest right here in eastern Honduras has a suite of species that don't exist anyplace else in the world.
So last year in April 2010, when we did the Rio Plátano, we counted at least 50 fishing and hunting camps along the river for that 10-day period. And it was just so devastating, not only to the wildlife, but also to the people that call La Mosquitia and the Rio Plátano Biosphere Reserve their home. So this year we're going to go back and really show what's going on in the Rio Plátano Biosphere Reserve.
So I've been in the reserve traveling with our company La Mosquitia Eco Aventura for 21 years. In the last 15 years, people have been coming more intensively. Hunter and fishermen in the core zone.
The natural environments of Honduras, in particular the reserve and the mosquito coast in general, have been receiving, how to say, ingobernabilidad.
Anarchy.
It's anarchy. There's people is doing whatever they want.
They're taking advantage of the weak government
taking
and the absence
advantage
of
of
government.
that situation of that weakness of the government.
Nobody's looking.
All this area is in the hand of settlers right now.
Yeah.
And the India has been pushed to sell the land by intimidation sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
They tell you, or you sell it, or we take it. I'm telling people, it's not a luxury to have a reserve like Rio Plátano. The worst dangers we know is we, humans. We continue growing, we have in each family 10 babies, you know what will happen.
Well, after a heck of a ride, 12 hours, we finally arrived at our destination, Bonanza, at the end of the road. And I just got goosebumps. I mean, I'm so glad the trip really starts now. Enough of the city, enough of everything else. Tomorrow is going to be a hike that's just going to be unbelievable. Long, hard, we're going to be sore, but the good thing is, we're going to be working our upper muscles after that. No more walking. Yeah!
Play mud.
All right. I hope your boots are really tight so the mud doesn't suck them off your feet.
Welcome to the rainforest.
Really?
This is Huarasca. It's the core zone of the reserve. So most of the settlers bring the cattle here now every year. We just saw it.
But it's illegal grazing here.
It is illegal grazing because this is the core zone. They should not be here, and they know it. You see that? Barbed wire to keep cattle out.
There's a box of 22 shells
For hunting, illegal hunting here.
Most likely.
in the core zone.
You can check it.
Fire's not warm, but you can see it's fresh. Does it look like people have been here since last April?
It's so obvious, man. We can see the barbed wire. It wasn't here.
They put up the barbed wire to keep the
Yes,
cattle out,
to keep
which
the
means
cattle
the
out.
cattle are grazing here.
Yep, yep. One of the main problems here in Huarasca, the headwater of the Río Plátano Biosphere Reserve, is that there is no presence, no control. So that allowed cattle ranchers bring cattle, that allows hunters to continue hunting, fishermen to continue fishing. We find the biggest biodiversity of the country here in the Río Plátano Biosphere Reserve. Megafauna, tapir, cougars, jaguars, all the 5 cats of Honduras live here. When I go to Costa Rica, I feel so jealous because they show you a sloth, they show you everything there, wildlife. People think that we do not have wildlife, of course, because there is no protection. Poor people come here and hunt and kill all the animals. That's the reason we see very little animals.
So we hiked up to the Summit Ridge divide between the other watershed and this Rio Plátano watershed, and it was an 11-hour hike in deep mud, on and off rain the whole way, more on rain than off rain, I think. But the hiking's over, and now we get in the rafts and head down the river. Don't try this at home, because our vacation is your worst nightmare.
That's it.
Yeah, Colorado rafters don't do this. Let's go!
This site is a hunter. We are at El Aguacate, close to Casa de Piedra. And that structure over there, you see there, was to dry all the meat. It could be peccary, tapir, deer, So you can see how dirty. They leave all the trash here. This is great curassow feather, the male. It's a beautiful, lovely bird that abounds here. It's abundant. Believe me, I'm the best witness. I have seen that animals are diminishing in the core zone of the Río Plátano Biosphere Reserve. They're killing everything. There is no control all year round. Too bad, man. Presence is what we need here. Real rangers, you know, with guns, because those people don't throw you candy, they throw you bullets. They're not peaceful people.
I got the most endangered birds in Central America all together in one tree.
6 scarlet macaws and 2 green macaws.
Great green. It's the 6th day of our trip. It's the 4th day on the river. And we're in the middle of the famous Subterráneo rapids. The whole river goes underneath these humongous boulders. It narrows down and funnels under the water. It's been raining almost non-stop for the last 2 days. Pounding rain. Everything we have is wet. All our clothes, all our tents, all our tarps, everything except maybe the food.
Said there are some nasty bugs out tonight, David?
Yeah.
What kind?
They are flies in the family Psychotidae, and they carry the disease leishmaniasis, which I've had and is very bad, so I'm going to go in here where there are no bugs. They come out often on a full moon and often after a rain, and since we've had both, they're swarming, and one is bad, but lots is way, way bad, so I'm just going to avoid them this time.
Sounds smart. Robert, what's your strategy for keeping the bugs away?
Keep the light off and smoke a cigar.
This is what we call the head of Subterráneo, or the entrance of Subterráneo. This is the famous gorge of about 1 kilometer, and we do in 2 days. We're gonna paddle those rapids, portage, and camp. And tomorrow we make 2 more portages. The other 2 are much more difficult. Welcome to Subterráneo.
It looks like a piece of moss, but it's really an insect with legs walking. There's all these crazy things that you find here that defy explanation, and that you have to look closely to see what they really are.
This wood is the best anti-fungus, anti-mycotic on your feet when you got it.
The Petch and the Mesquite Indians
Oh, they use it.
as a natural medicinal
plant, anti-fungus. It's very sticky and oily. The fruit is edible for monkeys and for humans.
UTM 0716 934 easting, 1723896 northing. 51 kilometers from Bonanza from the day we started walking. Which in any fast automobile is, you know, an hour.
It took us a week.
And it took us in rafts 1 week. That shows you how fragile this place is. It's not a great distance. It seems like a huge place, but people, you know, it doesn't take long to destroy an area of the size.
We're among civilization. It's the first people we've seen in over a week. So that's been sort of remarkable. It's great to be here, and we're 3 hours upriver from Las Marias. So once we get out of here, we'll be in Las Marias doing interviews and meeting friends. And from there, it is a motorboat all the way home. No more paddling.
And I'm talking with Francisco, how his farm is well integrated and eco-friendly.
What we see around here is the best example of low impact and sustainable agriculture and agroforestry. They are not harvesting, they are planting valuable trees that can be used later in the long term. They have like a gold mine in their yard. Thousands and thousands of mahoganies, laurel trees, that's gonna produce a sustainable yield in the long term. And to me, that's the best way to do it, you know, to produce income.
We have arrived! No more paddling from here unless the motor breaks.
Shut up, man.
I shouldn't have said that. ¿Cómo estás?
Bien, ¿y usted qué tal?
Bien, bien. Just sitting at a table with a tablecloth and chairs under us and being served. We didn't have to cook this ourselves.
That's what they invite you.
This chicken was running around the yard this morning. This one right here. Las Marias has three distinct cultural groups that live here. The Poach Indians are the original river inhabitants of this rainforest. The Mosquito Indians are the coastal people that have moved upriver looking for space to live. We also have families that are mixed between Poach and Mosquito. It's this living cultural diversity that was one reason why the Río Plátano was declared a World Heritage Site and a Man in Biosphere Reserve. Today we're going to meet some of these people, talk with some of the local families, and just ask them about some of the problems they're facing and what their future is like, considering the invasion of their lands by non-native peoples.
Mi nombre es Valencia Herrera, soy nativa, criada aquí, soy Poach. Ellos vienen amenazando y también del río al otro lado, y nosotros como indígenas somos pobres, somos humildes y solamente nosotros no podemos hacer estas cosas.
Ellos pagan por la tierra.
Ellos vienen así nomás, dice yo soy hondureño, tengo derecho a trabajar y ustedes cállense. Y ahora nosotros como nativos pensamos, ¿qué puede haber más allá? ¿Qué van a ver los niños en el futuro? Ya no va a haber lo que es la naturaleza, sino nada más en libros. Y esto nos preocupa mucho para nosotros. Sino va a ser muy diferente, con mucho miedo, y no sé qué va a pasar.
kaya tawan winal bayinan iba yang bili batas bais keras mahal kaya yang bili batas bais karani mansa para ay neon. Mi nombre es Zacarías, soy mezquito. Nosotros estamos lamentando, o sea, nosotros estamos preocupados por nuestra reserva de la biosfera. Posiblemente la reserva o la cuarta o parte, ya van tercera, que ya amenazado por completo por los colonos. Es un peste que está talando bosque, destrucción, como hacer potreros, como sembrar zacate. Vienen los colonos con dinamita. Y aquí nosotros con máscara tenemos o arpón de palo, duramos y ahorita tenemos este lado, todavía tenemos pescado. Ese dinamita no lo deja ni un sardín. Y hoy en día ya las colonias ya están aquí. De aquí van a hacer el dinamita otra vez, si nos descuidamos.
Mi nombre Melba Colman Ramos, indígena Pech. Ahí está destruyendo coyameles. Y ahora, pobres, ¿de dónde va a ir a sacar un coyamel para va a vender o va a traer, ganar un poquito de dinero para comer a estos pobres? Pero ahora está destruyendo con dinamita y ahora nosotros no sabemos que están tirando dinamita y estos pobres niños aquí, nosotros este agua estamos tomando, por eso se enferma uno aquí. Enfermo, los niños vomitando, diarrea, todo. Pero solo Dios nos guarda esta vida.
Entonces, nosotros estamos aquí, no hay nadie va a depender por la reserva. Así es que para nosotros, no hay quien nos va a depender si el internacional no vela al presidente. Nosotros pocos días vamos a tener problemas.
Bueno, yo me llamo Domingo Gámez y yo cuando vine allí, yo vine el 74, 800 palos de cacao tenía, todo eso, el banano, aguacate, zapote, coco y sopa, todo eso tenía. A hoy que vino Enrique McLean, vendió el terreno a ese señor con todo lo mío, que tenía cacao, todo me lo vendieron. Entonces el banano le echaron veneno. Ahora es zacatera, entonces donde comía yo, me lo mataron y todo eso me lo quitaron, entonces me dejaron desamparado. Y yo quedé inválido, entonces yo me vine para acá porque hasta me sacaron, me amenazaron allí, entonces tuve que salir de allí. Así es que yo estoy sin comida, sin nada, así es el sistema que tengo.
We are 1 hour from Las Marillas. This place is in the protected cultural zone, part of the Río Plátano Biosphere Reserve. People who is invading this land are Latinos, outsiders, who are almost surrounding the community. In around 5 years, Las Marillas is gonna be full surrounded by settlers. And what they're doing here, is illegal because they need a special permission to convert the land from forest to pasture land, and they do not have the permission. There is a big operation involved in this activity. They're paying the local Indians to make the undercut. They have a lot of chainsaw. When I came in December, there were chainsaw working. Right now, in February 25, we still have chainsaw working. Big cattle ranchers or African oil palm people are funding these people because there's no way to justify where the money is coming from. You know, I felt that after the crisis, the political crisis in Honduras, people got desperate. There was almost no tourists coming into Las Marias. And what I feel, this is an opportunity that the settlers are taking. The Indians are selling their land now, and they are even selling their labor force to the settlers, to clear cut. They are kind of desperate. They don't know what will happen in the future, but they are selling it, and this is really sad.
Le dimos autoridad para la organización internacional como
Internacional.
Sí, para que vele este reserva.
There are three main points to protect the reserve. Huarasca, where we came in, Camalotales and Tulito Trail, and where we are right now in Las Marias. To protect this area, it's not difficult or expensive. All we need is an on-site presence.
Solutions will be to do sustainable forestry in the surrounding of the reserve, around the core zone, but not in the core zone. If tourism is providing economical benefits to the local community, to the native of Las Marias, they're gonna be the best guards. They're gonna be reporting the government any damage that is coming from outside, from the settlers.
And this place is beyond special. It's extraordinary, not just for Hondurans, but for the world.
It just seems to me that if this is such a special place, that I know it is, and that others know, and if you come here, you'll know as well. It deserves everything we can do.